Hello again. It's been a little while since I've updated, so a couple of things have happened. I just thought I'd make a short and sweet update video just to keep you informed with what's going on. I've added a few new companies, I've lost a couple of companies, and I've learned a couple of things in the last few weeks. So at the moment, I'm up to €12,020 invested. It's about 11% down, 11.5% down, but that does include my growth and meme stocks, which are neither growing or fun anymore. I'm up to, I think, €421 in dividends. Yes, and my realized profit has gone up as well because I've sold a few positions. I found a few ETFs that were accumulating, which is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for dividends. So you should be able to see accumulating at the end of an ETF. This one, dist, that's distributing, meaning they pay the dividend out. And I sold some accumulating at some stage in the last few days. Yes, high yield bond accumulating. So this ETF basically automatically reinvests the dividends rather than distributing them to you, which is not what I want. I want the distributions. So I sold one, the VanEck Emerging Markets High Yield Bond. I sold another Euro Inflation Linked Government Bond, Vanguard Global Aggregate Bond, iShares Core Global Aggregate Bond. Same again, so that would be in a different currency. And another iShares Global Aggregate Bond ESG. So with that, I also sold my AMC Prefferred Equity shares. These were given out, I can't remember, but it was during last year. These were distributed. Basically, AMC has been diluted so much that all hope is lost, in my own opinion. But like, I'm not going to sell this AMC, which is down like 80%. I'm just going to hold on to it out of stubbornness. But it's an important lesson in why you don't invest what you're not willing to lose, because you may have to watch it go to zero. So South Jersey Industries, that was acquired by JP Morgan Investment Management, and Star Capital was acquired by a consortium led by GIC PTE Limited, which I've never heard of. Now, these were taken on screenshots on my phone at the time. I would usually just make a post about them and put up a picture, but for some reason YouTube wasn't allowing me to do that, so I still have the screenshots. But basically, when this happens, you can either receive nothing, you can receive more than you put in, or you can receive less than you put in. You don't really know, but I was lucky with both of these. I think my realized profit went up just a tiny amount. I got back basically what I put in, and then with selling the ETFs and selling AMC Preferred Equity, my realized profit has gone up by about, I think, €70. So I'm getting close to €1,800 in realized profits, but there's an inevitable €750, if not €850 death coming in the future. But we'll see what happens. So on to the good news. I've discovered that, and it now may be glaringly obvious to some people, but bonds were quite new to me. Most of these, if not all of them, appear to pay every month. So I've noticed that I'm getting small amounts in dividends from these already, and I haven't had them long. So they appear to pay every month. I've looked up a few of them when I'm trying to fill out the Excel sheet of the whole portfolio, and a lot of them do pay every month. So I've been putting money into these to try and get all of these up to €100 as fast as possible. They're all around the, say, €15 to €20 mark. These are looking pretty weak, so I'll put my next lump into these. And I've also added a few new positions. Some of them quite risky, so I wouldn't recommend them, but I can organize my positions by date created, and these are some of the new ones. Paramount Global, and this is Paramount as in like film production, all that, absolutely massive company. They pay a 4.28% dividend yield at the moment. It's another one of my broadcasting and cable TV stocks. I don't actually have a huge amount of them, so it's nice to diversify even more. So that's actually done pretty well since I bought in. Yeah, well, 2.4%, it's not a massive raise, but that looks very nice. And on its way down now, not to worry. This one. Now, these are getting absolutely hammered at the moment, Credit Suisse. And it just seems like controversy after scandal after bad news. Like, I've seen a lot of articles about them that it's a make or break time for them. They're one of these like central money center banks, I think they're called. Yeah, money center banks. This generally means too big to fail. Well, they call themselves too big to fail, but nothing is. Lehman Brothers would be similar, or is it Fannie Mae? Is another one. But this one could very easily collapse. So I would not advise anybody puts money into this unless they're willing to hold it for 10 years, 20 years, could be 30 years, or it could go bust tomorrow. Huge amount of risk. And because it's Swiss, it's probably only going to pay a dividend once per year. And that would be 3% if it pays it at all. They could easily stop paying a dividend tomorrow. If anything, it would be a better decision for them not to pay a dividend. Another one that I couldn't believe I didn't have already, WD-40. Turns out they're a publicly traded company. Very nice and very impressive share price. I do like the look of that. Ooh, look, 8th of February 2021, it was nearly double. Ooh, big hits since then. But I do enjoy my big hits. So that's a new exciting addition, WD-40. Pretty weak dividend. However, that's the only weak thing about them. I would imagine their debt is quite good. Yeah, 56%, that is quite good. Quarterly profit margin of 11%, very nice. That doesn't look too good. However, it can't all be good news, of course. And I think Brookfield, I already talked about. I had that in my previous video. They absorbed one of the companies that I had, so I figured that I may as well just buy them. They absorbed HomeServe, one of my UK stocks. Now, just before I finish up with that, there is, I think South Jersey was in, yes, it was in one of these lists, the dividend contenders. Now, if you've been dividend investing for a while, you may have heard of the like dividend aristocrats, dividend kings. This one I kind of made the name up myself, dividend titans. These are ones that haven't missed a dividend payment for the last 100 years. But the general rule is that if they meet a certain criteria or like milestones, achievements like consecutive dividends for this long or consecutive raised dividends for this long, they will fall into one of these categories. This one, the dividend contenders, these have raised their dividends for the last 10 years. Now, it could only be like a fraction of a penny of a raise, but it is still technically a raise. They're paying more every time. So, South Jersey Industries, I think, was in here. It should pop up as delisted. There she is. So now I just have to sort that out, and I get an extra €3 or so. So that will withdraw the money from that one. And I don't think Store Capital was in any of these lists, but it should have a place in the other pies, in the general kind of A to Z pie. There it is, and maybe South Jersey as well, both of them. So I just have to get rid of these two as well. Now, as far as the actual dividends are going, it's up to €421 and a lot of nice ones. Now, there's still quite a few that are under 10 cents, which I really have to start working on. Like, that means that there's under €10 invested in it as a general kind of rule of thumb. This is one of my monthly payers, so I've bulked that up quite quickly. But yeah, there's a lot of them that are still under 10 cents, which is not like at this stage. Ideally, I would want every payment to be at least above 10 cents. Very early stages it's acceptable, but I have so many positions that are under €10. Yeah, like these are all the bonds that I'm talking about. Straight away they're all coming in, so I think they pay every month. But ideally I don't want any positions under €10, so I have been focusing on the smallest ones, but also the ones that are most heavily in the red. But I think I'm going to stick to investing the majority of the lump whenever I get paid into the bonds, just so I can get an additional, what could be an additional 50 payments. Now they might all only be a few cents or €1, but I want to get them up as fast as possible, and then I can reinvest that money very quickly. But then I'll start focusing the lump sum on the smallest positions again. Yeah, it's taken along nicely. And I'll give you a quick look at my lowest and highest positions. So up the very top, still Devon Energy, 156% up. That is very high. But the unfortunate thing about so much of these positions is that they're so small. Like that's worth €10.55 now, but it's gone up €6.44 since I bought it, which means I only put like what €4 in there, and it's now 156% up. Like it is nice to look at, but I'm gonna have to bulk up pretty much all of these. Even this, like that's very impressive. Cross Timbers royalty, and they pay every month. Yeah, like 7.78% dividend yield, and I'm 155% up from where I got in. Very nice. They're doing very well. Imminent crash, no doubt, but I have no time to be concerned with such things. Front line, this is also new to the top. Ooh, very nice. Lovely. Now look, less than 1% dividend yield. I'd probably be better off selling that because it's going to take an awful long time to earn much money from them, but no can do. Who else have we got? Haleon doing quite well. Bank of Ireland, Yankuang Energy, Valero Energy, all the energies. ConocoPhillips is also energy. I think Euronav is as well. They're posting record profits. So yeah, a lot of the usual suspects. Oh, look who it is. World Wrestling Entertainment. Doing well. Very nice. Up you go. Yeah, look, less than 1% dividend yield. Very nice. Keep on climbing. And I'll have a quick look down at the bottom again. So a lot of the usual suspects down here. AMC, of course, the worst. Russian Securities is sanctioned. That's doing absolutely terrible. I put like €50 in and it has lost 80%. Oof. Bad. They're not going to pay 36% in dividend yield. That's not going to happen. I'd be surprised if they pay one at all for years. Everas has been sanctioned. GameStop is a meme. DigiHost is a crypto stock. I think they popped off recently. Yeah, but they're on their way back down from popping off. Loyalty Ventures was part of a demerger, so I don't really trust it at the moment. It has betrayed me since I've gotten it. So I'm not really going to throw more in there for a while till I figure out at least what it is. Uniper is being nationalised by the German government, so quite a bit of fear involved there, as you can see. 888 Holdings. Oh yeah, Senstar Technologies is an Israeli security company. Also, fallen off a cliff. No details given. I do not like the look of that. Nothing given. Probably going to go bust. It's just not doing well at all. Now, this is where it starts to get into the actual dividend payers that count at the moment. The rest are kind of in their death rattle, rolling around. We'll see if they survive. 888 Holdings is a gambling company, and I have like close to €50 in there, so I'll leave that one. Marston's is a pub in the UK, and I don't think they'll pay a dividend for a while. GN Store Nord. Okay, medical equipment and supplies. No dividend yields, which means they don't plan on paying one. Not going to put in there. Gold Resource. This pays every month, and it is 38% down. Recently fallen off a cliff. 6 employees. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, why not? I'll see how it does. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. The next time that I have a decent amount of money to invest, it'll probably be Friday. I'll have about £100, or €100 I should say, to invest, and I'll go down through these, put some into bonds, and I will go down through these and pump a bit of life into some of them. But to be honest, that's pretty much it. A few new additions, I lost a few, and a couple of newcomers up in the very top, which is always nice to see. But I am actually going to have to destroy some of those beautiful green percentages because they're so small. The positions are so small. But if they got to that stage once, they can get there again. So I'll hold out some hope for them, see what happens, and I'll try to enjoy myself.